more than science of meditation. It is the science of friendship. Whether you are a meditator or not, whether you are enlightened or not, whether you are good or bad, you can always be friends with everything. So, you can be always friends with every person, every being, every animal, every bird, every fish. Friendship is the goal. And you arrive at the science of friendship through the science of meditation. Science of friendship is the science of enlightenment. Enlightenment is nothing but friendship. Eternal friendship with everybody. Friendship with yourself. Friendship with your family members. Friendship with your neighbors. Friendship with the foreigners. Friendship with the strangers. Friendship with the people who have considered themselves as failures. Friendship with the children. Friendship with the babies. Friendship with the old people who are about to die. Friendship with the departed souls. Friendship is enlightenment. Where there is no friendship, there is no enlightenment. Friendship with the trees. Friendship with the ecology, environment. Friendship with the nature. Friendship with all the passing things which are changing always. Deep friendship with every individual. If somebody doesn't want to talk to you, respect that and don't talk to him because he doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want you, then move away from yourself, from himself. That is friendship towards that fellow. Respect everybody's integrity, their own likes and dislikes, their own personalities. Respect. Daily practice of friendship in all the affairs of the world, all the affairs of the family. Friendship with your own body. Friendship with all the organs of the body. Friendship with all the cells of the body, where each cell is a different entity by itself. Lawrence spoke of so many wonderful things. But of all the wonderful things, the science of friendship attracted me. I promoted science of meditation everywhere, which was leading to science of friendship. That's why whenever I open my mouth, I address everybody as friends, masters and gods. Friends comes first, then master of meditation, then you are a god, create whatever you want. But first principle comes friendship. Second principle comes mastery of meditation. Third principle is create whatever you want, manifest whatever you want. Choose any possibility out of the infinite possibilities that are around you and be a creator of something. So, coming to the friendship, a horse and a dog are such friendly animals. See a dog and see a horse, how friendly they are. You should learn friendship, the art of friendship, art and science of friendship from a dog and from a horse. They help in every human activity with great enthusiasm. If you throw a ball for a dog, it will run and bring that ball back with all the enthusiasm in life. And the horse helps you to ride, you know. Even in the war, the horse...
Types of friendships. One is unconditional friendship, another is conditional friendship. Both have to be practiced. Conditional friendship is not at the expense of unconditional friendship, or unconditional friendship is not at the expense of conditional friendship. We are living in many relationship roles, and these create special conditions, and they demand conditional friendship. Not to know about conditional friendship is not to have any sense. Friendship depends upon friendship. So, if you are going to come and kill me, well, I am practicing unconditional friendship on one hand, I am also practicing conditional friendship on the other hand. Therefore, if you want to kill me, I am going to kill you. I am not going to spare you. Because you are doing something harmful to me, I will do the same to you. That is a last resort. That is the message of Gita. If you are going to kill me, I will bear for some time, and some more time, and some more time. Ultimately, I am ready to kill you again. Yuddhaya krita nishchaya. Not at the first instance, but certainly It is not at all ruled out. If you are going to kill me, I am going to kill you. If you are not going to kill me, I am not going to kill you. If you are going to be friendly with me, I am going to be friendly with you. If you are going to give your life to me, I am going to give my life to you. So, in the word Maitri, in the word friendship, all these things come. To practice conditional friendship is to practice sense and sensibility. Not to know the difference between unconditional and conditional friendship is not to have fine sense. Living in day-to-day affairs demands a lot of very, very fine-tuned sense. So, Maitri is not just unconditional friendship, it is not just conditional friendship, it is both. Truth is neither full nor empty, it is both full and empty. So, Buddhahood is practice, to practice and to practice and practice and practice and practice emptiness.
Divine evening, Masters. So let's begin the session with 20 minutes meditation. And today is Amavasya. So best time to meditate in the night also. Utilize this night for meditation, and so that you can take more and more energy for your own growth, and so that you can connect more with the soul. Because the more we connect, we collect the energy through meditation on such occasions. It gives us the energy to, to connect with our soul more closely. So the more connected we are with the soul, we are more in acceptable mode, we are above the body level, body consciousness. So let's begin with the meditation, 20 minutes meditation. Wherever you are sitting, ensure that it's most comfortable position, and cross your legs, clasp your fingers, and gently close your eyes, and keep focusing on your breath, your natural breath during this meditation. Gently come back to your body's awareness. Open your both palms and place them over your eyes for 10 seconds. And gently open your eyes. Let's be thankful to the universe for this wonderful meditation and the time which we have got to do this meditation. Thank you so much, Masters, for participating in today's meditation. Now I hand over to Smita.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 14 of Holistic Buddha. Today, we will be talking about exercise and movement. So, when it comes to nature cure, it is not like we don't talk about exercises. Exercise is an integral part of any form of natural healing or any form of healing. Exercise is something that is extremely important. It is not like I've heard about many people who think about just eating right or eating the healthy food and then just going and not exercising. So it is very important to understand that exercises are an integral part of life. So today we will just be talking about it. So John Ratty said, exercise is really for the brain, not for the body. It affects the mood, vitality, alertness, and feeling of well-being. So what does it actually mean? Why are they saying that exercise is really for the brain and not for the body? So this is what we are going to be talking about today. See, for example, even if you take Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the entire Patanjali's Yoga Sutras have actually been written just to sit in meditation for about 3 hours and then attain self-realization. So the entire yoga subject itself has just been written just to attain that self-realization and sit in one place for 3 hours. So ultimately, what are we talking about here? Whether they say yoga and asanas and all of those things, just to make the body fit. So if the body is fit, then they will be able to sit in one place for about 3 hours because the body has that kind of stamina and also practice. And there is a whole lot of, angas for even the mind and all of those things. So hence it's very important to understand that why do we do exercises? If we are doing just exercises for the body, then we may not really be doing it for the right reasons. If we are doing exercises just for looks, then over time, what will happen? You will always be worried about looks. So first we'll have to understand why are we doing these exercises? If we are doing these exercises because ultimately we'll have to hit soul realization, but then how is exercise related to soul realization? If we do exercises, we are going to be raising our vibrations, or improving our vitality by addressing one of the aspects of natural living so that this body is healthy. And if this body is healthy, it will not you will not be constantly bothered about going to the doctor or what should I do? This is paining, that is paining, and all these things that just keep us worried all the time. Instead, we'll just be totally free and we can focus on what? Meditation and things like that. So hence, it's very important that if you have to attain that last leg, or if your objective is to go to that state, then you'll have to take care of the previous steps as well. And one of the steps is taking care of this body. And in that, one of the steps is exercise. So exercise is really not always for the body, but for the mind and for the soul, rather for the mind and for the body to get to the soul. So, and of course, we know that it affects our mood, vitality, and all that Eleni may be talking about. So, what is exercise? So, anything that we do to basically move our body, to use our body in ways that we may never use. So, we may basically walk around the house and then we don't call that exercise. We just say we are in the house. But then why do we call something exercises? We are basically focusing on doing those steps or doing those set of activities more and more so that a certain muscle is used or certain flexibility is achieved in the body. So it can be walking, because you'll be walking briskly for a very long time, or you'll be running, you'll be swimming. It can be dancing, it can be yoga, tai chi, which is energy, working with energies. It can be functional exercises or high intensity workouts, CrossFit, body weight exercises, gardening. Basically, any movement which takes the body towards repeated movements, it's called exercise. So is a regular workout at home, is regular work at home called exercise? So many people tell me, ma'am, I have so much of work in the kitchen all the time. I'm like whole day I'm busy. So I'm using my body in some way or the other. Is that called exercise? See, if you're using your body in an improper way, without understanding how I'm bending, am I bending properly? Am I using my hand properly? Am I lifting the stuff at home properly? Or I'm sitting down properly? Am I mopping the floor properly? So if you're not really doing it mindfully, maybe focusing on breath and all of those things, then they may actually be called as stress at home. So most of the time it is stress because you are trying to finish some work. You're trying to do, your mind is always racing towards task-oriented approach and things like that. So in my opinion, unless you really spend that time for exercising, or even if you are thinking that my housework itself is exercise and focus on treating that as an exercise to benefit you, it is not called exercise, it's just called stress. So how is walking an exercise? Typically, I don't, if a person is healthy and fit and he's young, I usually tell them, you don't have to walk only for exercise. Madam, I'm walking, I am always walking. I mean, are you walking so that you sweat? Or are you walking, so are you basically seeing walking? If you have to walk as an exercise, you're just doing cardio. You're just burning calories there. So, and if you have the, capacity to move your body in all directions, I would say that you basically move that body first and then think about walking. Walking is for people who really cannot move their body because of lots of pains or age or whatever it is. So if you have to make walking an exercise, you will have to use it for a burning rate because it just burns calories. But if you want to use walking as an exercise, but you really don't want to lose weight and all of those things, then you have to focus a lot more on other things like strengthening your body. Using your muscles a lot, and then using just walking as a muscle intensifying exercise rather than a fat burning exercise. So the next one is body condition appropriate exercises. So like I said, many people may have other pains and other things, or they may be age related. So all of these things you'll have to think and exercise. Everybody cannot do all the exercises. For example, I met with an accident in 2019, and before that, I've had this desire to basically do a handstand. And I was practicing for it as well. I had done a shoulder stand. I was already doing a shoulder stand, but I was not able to still get to handstand. And I was almost just strengthening my body. But at that time, I also met with an accident on my scooter. So because of that, my wrist actually broke and I had to go through surgery and rods and all of those things for some time. and my body had to start from scratch. My wrist had to start from scratch, which means it was basically 180 degrees like this. And if I had to bring it even to this state, see, this is 90 degrees, but then this is still 70, 75 degrees. It is still not 90 degrees because it broke in a very odd fashion and they somehow got it in place. So I can do handstands, and I also tried after that. I have done a lot of exercises after that, intensive exercises after that, just to get my hand to this state. And I do a lot more exercises like planks and other things. I still do body weight exercises. I do, but doing handstand on this hand, I could not. It really pains. It may pains in the sense I can't hold it on for a very long time. So there are certain things that I can do now, and there are certain things I cannot do now, because the original hand that nature gave me versus the an improper way that the hand is today may not. I have to change my desires, or I'll have to change my exercises basically. So like that, body appropriate condition exercises, we'll have to think through. Everybody cannot do all the exercises. You'll have to be a lot more practical in thinking that it's not like I should not be over aggressive and say, okay, it's okay, it's my willpower, I can do. See, mind is different, body is different. I should not be, making the body suffer, because the mind is very ambitious. Many people, their body will obviously not be cooperating, but then their mind will be so, determined and active and things like that. So many times it is best to get the body and mind to align with each other. Then mind-body coordinated exercises. For example, there are certain people, and of course, I think we have seen that in the internet also. There are so many people who have been into, let's say, paralytic attacks and things like that, or they have traumas and accidents and things like that, where they are bedridden. So what they do is they use their mind to exercise their body. So we have also discussed in previous classes that, let's say you have a very bad situation, a scene that has happened in the past, and if you repeatedly keep thinking about it, the mind actually repeats that set of series of thoughts that basically created it. And then even the hormones and everything, that it mimics the same thing. It basically simulates the whole thing that happened in the past. And the mind doesn't really think whether it's actually a set of memories that is happening again, or it is basically something physical that the eyes has actually seen, and physically it is being experienced. There is no difference. So when you're actually thinking about exercising and you exercise, for example, let's say I cannot move my hand and my hand is like this. But if I know how my hand moves, right? So if I'm able to basically close my eyes, or however it is, and if I'm able to exercise every single day like this, even before my hand was actually able to move, there will come a time when the body is able to move like that, and then your muscles also would have actually grown like that. So there is a lot of studies to say that there were a set of piano players who were actually given the training to play a set of notes, and there were other control groups of people where they basically just gave them a sheet of paper, and they knew how to play the chords, the keys. So they just went over that in their mind on a daily basis. So other people went physically practiced it. The other people went over it in their mind. So the people who went over it in their mind and the people who went over it in their body actually did the same. They were able to, work on par with each other. So when you are not able to exercise because of a certain inability in your body, you can actually exercise with your mind, so that your body does not think that I don't have to use that muscle, I can actually waste that muscle. It melts the muscle. So it is very important for you to understand that muscles have to be used. If muscles have to grow, then muscles have to be used. You cannot think that food will exercise, food will grow it and things like that. So that I'll talk about it. So mind-body coordinated exercises are very important. Hence, Hence breathing and so many things come into picture when you're exercising. And then exercising for flexibility. See, things like slow yoga and all of those things will really help in flexibility. Unless you're doing it for strengthening, you can use, if you're doing body strength asanas and things like that, like Ashtanga yoga, right? Those also build a lot of strength. It also builds a lot of muscle, not just flexibility. So you'll have to understand that if you're doing just slow movements and things like that, your body will be flexible. For general movement, it is definitely good. But then over time, you'll have to think about also strengthening your body, because as your body ages, the body is meant to believe that we will not do as strenuous movements or strenuous living or lifestyle that we were using when we were in our when we were young. But as we get old, we will not do that, right? So the body will start to waste those muscles and it will just melt away. It will just not be used. So what we have to tell the body is, we are constantly going to be using this muscle. We are constantly going to move it for strength. We need the body for strength. We need the body for flexibility. We need the body for carrying my own body. So hence it is very important that everybody should do exercises to keep their body strong, not just flexible. You should be able to carry your own body. You should be able to lift your own body weight. If not for a headstand or a handstand, you should still be able to lift at least half of your body weight and things like that, which means do body strengthening exercises as much as possible. And then keep your muscles strong. And to grow those muscles, you don't need protein or anything. You just need those cells to be clean. And any clean and healthy cell will do whatever work they are supposed to do. It's not like you need some external thing like protein to keep them to do their job or something. So if you keep the body clean and if you continue to exercise and all of those things, the body will definitely work. What exercises to choose for long-term well-being, which is what I was trying to tell. So for the long-term well-being, you need to ensure that you have to do some amount of body weight exercises, body strengthening exercises. See, our ancestors in the past were not sedentary lifestyle people. They had to go gather food, they had to run, they had to jump from tree to tree. They had to do many such things. They had to walk a lot. They had to run behind some animal. They were, like I said, they were into non-veg and all of those things, majorly because of their lifestyle and survival instinct, survival and all of those things that they had to go through. Either way, when the human body actually happened, they have been very strong people. They were living on trees, they were jumping from branch to branch, something like Tarzan. So if we had to be like Tarzan, then we just can't eat fruits and vegetables and then spend our whole day working behind our computers or things like that. We have to give that at least 1 hour for exercising on a daily basis. So if you choose health, if you think health is so important, you have to exercise. You just cannot eat and then live at home. And walking is not acceptable. Only walking is not acceptable. You'll have to do a whole body exercise, right? So that is exercise. So what are the physical benefits of exercise? Exercise strengthens the heart muscles. Why does exercise strengthen the heart muscles? Because when you are exercising, you are racing, your peripheral organs and everything, because you're using them at a fast pace. The body will have to supply oxygen to the hands or to the legs or whatever you're using, to the thighs, to whatever muscle you're using. The body has to, the heart has to supply a lot of oxygenated blood. So the demand for that oxygenated blood increases, and hence that also strengthens the heart muscles. So hence, and wherever the heart muscles are they used a lot for some of these exercises, the heart's health also will be very good. Otherwise, the heart will also heart is also a muscle, right? If the heart is not used properly, it's constantly beating the same speed every single day, and it is only beating fast just when you have stress, But then that stress related is not, heart is anyway pumping fast, but then it is also releasing a lot of toxic hormones like adrenaline and all of those things. So hence it's very important that when we what do you say, when we exercise, endorphins are released, the right hormones are released, and that endorphins actually keep us very happy, and it also improves the body condition. And then lymphatic movement is improved. Yeah, it also accelerates elimination. See, why elimination is why does it accelerate elimination? See, when you move the body, right? Let's say now we have a lot of ups and downs in the body, right? So now let's say there's a lot of accumulation in this condition, here, in this joint, because there is a road hump here, or there's an up and down here. So when there's a lot of accumulation here, what will happen is it needs to be moved from that place. It's like, let's say there's a river flowing and now there's a rock here. When the river is flowing, all the dirt basically gets stuck near the rock, and then water flows up this side and that side. And then wherever there was a blockage or what do you say, stoppage or something, all the things like, let's say, old newspapers, old leaves, dry leaves, so all these things, twigs and everything will just get collected here. Similarly, when some of these things are there near the joints and things like that, there will always be some kind of accumulation. For that accumulation to basically just remove itself, and when you're doing juicing and things like that, they will anyway get that, and also you mix that with movement, and because of this movement, what will happen is the body will be able to dislodge this. When you have juices and things like that, it will act like soap and it will dislodge it from this area when you are also able to move it. And the lymphatic movement is also improved because your liquids have improved. And when the lymphatic movement is improved, you are not just moving, you also provided a hydrated condition inside the body, and also a lot of alkaline condition into the body. So all of that put together will basically dislodge the toxin from here. When initially it might pain, because that pain means that the blood and the muscles are actually working there. If there is no pain but just a toxic buildup is there, then obviously body is not working, right? There is not enough vitality to remove it. But when there is pain, the body has enough vitality to remove that toxic buildup. So at that time, if you're able to bring in some amount of exercises and all that, and then remove, it is definitely going to help. So let's say if a person has all these things here, but he wants to walk. So if he's walking, but he's not even moving and doing any form of warm-up exercises also, it is not going to help. Over time, these things will become, these muscles will become very stiff because he's not even using. Madam, I'm doing exercises every day. What are you doing? Walking, I'm doing. But all my neck muscles and everything are very, very strained these days. Why? Because you're not using those muscles. So, and then acidic condition also in the body really adds to this. So nutrition uptake improves. What does it mean? It means that when you're burning, what do you say, the body's requirements have improved. The heart is burning more. So calories are burning more. So hence the nutrition is also going to improve a lot. So if we are sitting for the whole day, our hunger also may not really be great. But if we are able to move our body, if we are able to do some running, jogging, swimming and things like that, it actually helps a lot. So always, before you do any form of cardio related activities, do a lot of body strength activities also, and then pair it up with cardio. Don't always just do cardio and then say, madam, I'm not even increasing my weight, I'm doing so much of exercise. You'll have to build those muscles, and those muscles have to be repeatedly used. So it is very important that you reach the right practitioner and focus on all of these things. And then build correct posture. It builds the correct posture, symmetry and strength for other pursuits. So you will not complain of back pain, this pain, that pain. And you will be able to also bring in that kind of posture. So in Nature Cure, one of the points for living a very healthy lifestyle is also called spinal integrity. So your spine will be, if they say that if your spine is very healthy, then it means that your entire body is healthy, because it's the foundation of your body. So you'll also be able to build a proper spinal health, right? Aging, which is a chronic so when we age without any proper lifestyle, then chronic muscular tension, joint inflexibility, muscle weakness, poor posture. So these days it has been, people take it for granted that, oh, anyway, while growing up, we will become very poor. Sorry, we will become very weak. Our children only have to take care of us. They just resigned for the fact that, oh, my parents became like that. They became dependent at this period. Even I will become dependent at this period. They don't take care of their health. They don't even think, so they want to be independent in life. They don't want to be bedridden. They don't want to become dependent on anybody. But at the same time, you have to also, people also want to continue to keep eating the same thing, same foods every day, keep thinking in the same thing, same habits, thinking habits every day. Everything will be the same, but just the desire to not depend on anybody in their old age will be very high. So there is no investment on understanding how to actually achieve that. So to achieve, if you want to be really healthy, don't want to depend on parents, don't want to depend on children and all of those things, you have to focus on your life, in your habits, your health as much as possible. You may be in a very, very, packed joint family and all of those things, but then you have to focus on what is important for you. Today you focus on pleasing others. You may be focusing on being fearful for others, fearful for if I don't finish this, I'll get that scolding. If I don't do this. And so there may be so many things that we think is far more important than our health, because we have already committed to those things. We have prioritized that more than ourselves. So when you sit and think and say, what is okay if I don't do today, if I'm able to, let's say, relax a bit for some of this work, you reduce your expectations of what has to be the right thing and wrong thing. Then over time, you will be able to dedicate more time for your own health. Because if you're healthy, everything will work. If you're unhealthy, nobody is going to come and help you. Especially if we are the mothers, if you are the ladies working in the house, usually everything, right? If you see people, ladies, they have to work right from beginning to the end, right? There is absolutely no retirement at all. So if you have to be healthy, you don't have to curse and say, why am I born as a lady and all of those things. That is not the right thought at all. Instead, you should think that this is a very great opportunity for me to actually focus on myself. I'll improve so many habits, which I never thought I will be able to do in a male body. So like that, you should be able to see positive aspects of your own lifestyle and then focus on all of these aspects. Okay, so hence it's very important that as you age, your muscles have to be very strong. There are so many people who have converted themselves to plant-based lifestyle. Under me, they've converted themselves to plant-based lifestyle. But they are not able to do any such body strengthening exercises, because their body, after so much of wear and tear, it can only go so far. They can maybe do exercises like yoga and things like that. They may not be able to do a lot of body strengthening exercises as of now. So as they age, what will also happen is their skin will sag, and they may not be able to build muscle under that skin, and fat will not happen, because in this healthy lifestyle, you will not be able to develop plumpy bodies, and you will not be able to do that. You will look good and all of that only through being strong. Strong is the new slim. Okay, there is no way for you to be chubby and idli like and feel that it's all glowing. Everybody will be glowing when they are idli like, but the thing is that inside there'll be a lot of toxins. So hence it's not necessary to be an idli and then please other people. It's good for you to be lean and accept your body even if it's thin. As long as you are healthy, everything is good. You just have to start working on accepting your body and becoming strong. See, there are some of my, I think I'll talk about that in the mental aspect. Okay, so it's very important for you to be strong, lean, agile, and light. So the more you exercise, the more you will be able to be like a spring body. You will not be very, it will not weigh you down. It will not be heavy all the time. So the next benefit is mental and emotional. So it also raises your vibration. How does it raise your vibration? What is raising your vibration means we are all made up of atoms and we are all made up of electrons around that atom. So they have a certain frequency of vibration. So everybody is vibrating at a certain frequency, including this air around us. So we are in a jam-packed universe where everything is atoms everywhere. So, but if we have to see betterment in our life, betterment in our experience, betterment in our situations and all of those things, betterment in our health everywhere, we have to go from here to here. We have to go towards higher frequencies. If we have to go towards higher frequencies, then we have to focus on our own life. And how do we focus on that with respect to exercises? By exercising. When you exercise, what will happen? Initially, if you have to get up and go do that exercise early morning, you might actually feel that this is a bore thing. Today, I will skip my exercises, tomorrow I do. That is a ego which wants to just sleep and put you to sleep. So at that time, you have to, it only means that that habit has not set in and the reason to exercise is not strong and things like that. You just want to exercise, but the reason to exercise, the passion is not strong. So there you can work on those things, but either way, you have to get up. When you get up and then let's say you finish your exercises and you feel like it's an achievement. You did a lot of good things and you feel more active and all that, right? So at that time, you'll feel happy. So it releases endorphins. Exercise hence releases endorphins, which actually make you feel very positive. And sometimes people will be euphoric at times because they feel very invigorated from inside, very happy from inside. Especially when you're doing fast moving exercises, it feels very nice. And people who love yoga also feel very happy when they do yoga. So it's all about how you are able to connect with these exercises and move your body. And these things releases endorphins. So it also reduces nervous tension and produces good sleep. So obviously, when you are able to exercise, your body is tired and also gives you a very nice sleep. Like I said, what all happens, your lymphatics moves and then your toxins move and all of those things. Over time, when your hydration improves, your exercises improve, and then your consistency in all of these things improves in all aspects of whatever we've spoken about. Overall, the body will be healthy. So at that time, all your nervous issues and also will go up and you'll also be able to get a good sleep. So people who have a lot of issues today, you'll have to think, am I eating right? Am I sleeping right? Am I exercising right? Okay. Am I, connecting with nature? Am I thinking properly? So all of these, am I, if you ask, and then if you say, if you only get an answer that I'm not focusing on this area, then start focusing on that area for about 2-3 months. See how your life improves. So like that, everything, all the 7-8 points, you'll have to bring together and then balance everything. Majorly, you'll have to balance. So then only you'll get some amount of benefit. Then body will be able to independently manage itself. Otherwise, what will happen? You will say, okay, I'll only manage one area, other areas I can't manage, I don't have time. In that case, means there will be some hitting somewhere. So intellectual ability and mental clarity also will improve because your health improves. Overall, mental clarity also will improve. Gut and everything will improve. Then it releases stress levels and anxiety levels and all of those things anyway. So one more thing is overall well-being and self-worth improves. So many times what happens is when people come to me with a feeling that I'm very thin, people look at me and talk about me and they are not happy about me and all of those things. We can easily say, okay, see, you have to accept yourself, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's easy to say all of those things, but then a human being will be able to accept something only when he sees some achievement. So you'll have to push them to actually exercise. Many times what happens when people start exercising, whether they build their body or building body and all, anyway, it takes about 2-3 years. But by the time they actually get to that state, that self-worth improves because suddenly that energy levels will increase and then they are able to do some exercises which they never thought they're able to do. And they get better in many, many areas. So hence it is important for you to understand that you have to focus on something where your self-worth improves. So when your self-worth improves or you feel better about yourself in something or the other, then you will start accepting and respecting yourself a lot more. Because today you don't respect yourself because you think you are not worth it. That's why you don't respect yourself. So bring that self-worth in some area or the other. Majorly doing well on exercises actually improves that self-worth a lot more than other areas. You may also, there are many people who earn a lot, but then there is also a catch there. Suddenly they'll start feeling that earning initially 100 rupees itself would have been okay. Later on, 100 rupees also will feel like less because they compare themselves to somebody else. But then when you come to exercises, you can only compare with yourself because you started at whatever time and then you are able to improve. So hence self-worth overall improves, well-being improves and all of those things. So yeah. So what is the right way to exercise? So it is important that you've also heard when you go to yoga classes or when you go to any exercise classes or anything for that matter, even before meditation, many many meditation practices actually ask them to do warm-up exercises and cool down exercises. Because even when cosmic energy flows into the body, there is always an upsurge. So when you do exercises, what they do, what the masters have told is, when you do warm-up exercises before, your body's energy starts moving and it is functional. Otherwise, it's stagnant. So when after you do some amount of exercises and then you actually start your meditation, you'll get into that relaxed state much faster. And secondly, after you do meditation, if you do some amount of warm-up exercises and cool down exercises, which are not very rigorous or anything, then all that excess that you can't really handle in your body will go to the ground. So you will actually have a sense of balance in your thing also. But even otherwise, even if we don't talk about meditation also, warm up and cool down is because some amount of warm up will create some heat in your body and then you'll not have pains and other things. So let's say, for example, if I do some handstand or whatever without any warm up exercises, then my wrist may not be all that strong. So, or any exercises for that matter. So all the time warm up will have a set of exercises which will be moving all the body parts to some extent. May not be to strengthen it or anything, but then just to kickstart the muscle. And cool down is necessary because they have sort of got stretched or tensed or pulled or whatever it is. Some amount of cool down is essential. Typically in yoga, what they'll start off with slow exercises and then they do some strengthening exercise. Let's say they do a hardcore set of asanas, then slowly you'll do a slow what do you say, not so difficult asana, and then slowly you will get down to cooling, and then over time after the body is cool, you'll go to pranayama, right? So there is always a set of ups and downs, going up and then coming down in all kinds of exercises. So as per your ability and interest, you'll have to work on that. Like for example, to the fitness class that I go to, they teach exercise. They give exercise options for, let's say, beginner level, intermediate level, and expert level or advanced level. So some exercises, let's say I'm a beginner. In some exercises, I can do intermediate also. In some exercises, I can do let's say advanced level. So like this, we should be able to we should be able to do it as per the body and not as per the mind. Mind will probably be over aggressive and over ambitious, but then we'll have to work according to what the body can do. At the same time, you should recognize, am I trying to be lazy? Am I trying to be within my comfort zone? If you are always in your comfort zone, the muscle will not grow at all. You'll have to push yourself out of the comfort zone, and then little bit pushing that muscle will slowly improve your body strength also. And then doing any exercise in nature is far more recommended than doing it at home. If you have access to some amount of nature, always do it in nature. In one of these Surya Namaskaras, when you do these 108 Surya Namaskaras during Ratha Saptami, We typically we have done yoga in our regular yoga classes. We have done at home, let's say some 20-30 yoga or whatever yoga, Surya Namaskaras. If we do it at home, we get slightly tired. But then that day when we actually went to in the garden, in a natural garden, and then there were a lot of trees. And in that setup, we actually did that 108 exercise. It was so invigorating, and then we did not feel tired at all. So doing proper exercises among nature, in between nature, it's like an overdose of oxygen. And when you are OD'd with oxygen, what happens? Your muscles and your cells and everything becomes so active that they are constantly supplying you with things. But then if the heart only has to pump, and then if the nose has to constantly breathe in and then push all that oxygen inside, then it will become tired. So here what is happening, nature is abundantly giving you all that oxygen. It's giving that, there's a lot of high vibration in the natural setup. So that vibration itself is good enough for you to not feel tired. So that is why people go run in the park. They'll do so many exercises in the park. It's not like everybody is running on the roads and all that. People do, but still doing it in nature, in the parks and all of those things is highly recommended. And sunlight, there is no second thoughts about sunlight at all. Sunlight is like a primary life giver, primary healer on our planet. So always sunlight is highly recommended. If you're able to do some form of exercises in the sun, under the sun, very good. Okay, if you're not able to combine, at least sun you can do sometime else, some other time, and then you can do exercises in fresh air. Then proper exercises should make you feel fresh and rejuvenated. If we feel tired, of course, some amount of cool down and all that, you will anyway get back to that rejuvenated state. And always after exercises, you will feel like you've actually hit a sugar high. So if you have not done a proper cool down or anything like that, so always cool down. So when the body is in that cool down state, then you'll actually be good. And then no supplements or protein powders are recommended. So why do we say this? So everybody keeps asking about this, right? There is a big myth in the sports industry, in the gyms, around the gyms and all of those things. So as everybody go to the gym, and then they say you'll have to, we recommend protein powders and all of those things. So of course there is a lot of dairy based protein powders, and there is a plant based protein powder. We'll come to protein powder, but then is protein powder and all of those protein and all of those things, is it necessary? Am I supposed to focus on even plant-based protein? Am I supposed to be eating beans and many of these things for my exercises? See, first of all, why did all of these things start is because when you have only animals make protein. I make protein, I'm an animal, and then let's say other animals also make protein. So if I'm able to eat the protein or from a meat of the other animal or the dairy or from another animal, so I'm not just having my own protein, I'm also getting the protein from the other animal protein also. So that is like a ready-made muscle building thing. So it anyway builds, but the byproduct of protein digestion are some toxic byproducts happen in the body. That has to be released out of the body via the blood, and that has to be taken to the kidneys and then over time to the outside of the body through the urine. So in the process of handling this protein digestion, the kidney really takes a huge beating, and the blood also takes a huge beating, but then kidney takes a huge beating. And because of that, many people like bodybuilders and all of those things who take a lot of these protein supplements for their bodybuilding and things like that, they go through a lot of dialysis and kidney failures in their life. So you can look it up. It's actually not very uncommon. So hence, if you, even if you're, let's say, not taking the amount of protein that they are taking, whatever amount you are taking also is going to damage your kidney to that extent. Is it necessary? What should you do? You just need to go, see, if you think about our ancestors, and if they worked so hard in the sun and rain and all of those things in the to plow their agricultural lands at that time, they didn't take protein powders and all of those things. They just ate whatever was grown in their land. they didn't grow protein to basically work in that land. So people did not have that thing. Today, this protein eating and all is like the, first world problem. First world problem is we have everything in life, but then we are thinking about what we don't have in life and trying to feel that lack in our life. So all this protein powder issue is all because of that. So you can't take protein and feel that. So what is necessary then? If you have to use your body and initially, without taking protein or with taking protein also, let's say this is the first time I'm going to the gym, and then you can't lift even half a kg, because that body, if you're constantly lifting half a kg, it is not used to lifting half kg, so it will eventually feel tired. So you'll think, oh my god, I did not take protein, that is why I'm feeling tired. No, that is not the reason. Your muscle is not ready. So your muscle will constantly have to be trained. Then keep training yourself. Let's say after 15 days, over time, you'll be able to lift maybe to some extent half a kg. Then after that, you have to go to 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. You'll eventually be able to hit higher kgs, but not on protein. See, protein, many bodybuilders build their body through protein, but then once they stop building their body, some injury, that happen. Let's say they stop, then all that will become like a balloon. It will just go inflate also. But then if you are able to build that body naturally, and then it actually grows, you will also be able to retain it for a long time. And then this injury problem and all will not be there, because you're not constantly not overdoing it to hurt yourself. It's a slow process, and it's also a long lasting process. So for the body to work naturally, you have to just keep it healthy. Because let's say you have, like we usually like to give this example. Let's say there are 5 people in the house, there are children in the house, there are people who go to office, there is a teacher. Let's say the mother is a teacher, she's going to go teach, and there are children who probably are athletes, whatever they are. So what they do is the mother cooks whatever she cooks for the entire family, and then everybody eats the same thing, and they go to their respective jobs. Aren't they doing different jobs, but they ate the same kind of food? So food is anyway not bringing in anything. Food is not bringing any energy, nothing. But in terms of nutrition also, it's not like they ate for their work. They ate because they had to, satisfy their hunger, and they went. So like that, every cell of the body looks alike. So the structure of a cell is alike everywhere. So, but their function is completely different. So they will do their function. We don't have to tell the body, you do this function, you do that function. They will do their function. All that you have to do is keep them healthy. And to keep them healthy, you have to focus on your toxins and things like that. Initially, when you're detoxing and all that, you may not be able to push your body so much, because the body needs it for its health. At that time, just do enough, but not overdoing it. Then so like that, the body will be able to manage its own, it will make its own protein through the amino acids which are coming from all the raw foods and all that. So if you're very high on fruit, typically the body is works on the sugar burning cycle or sugar digestion cycle more than the fat digestion or the protein digestion cycle. So you'll get more energy by burning sugar or natural sugars which are coming from fructose and glucose, rather than it coming from protein or let's say fat. So when you're able to bring in a lot of fruit, when you're going on a very, let's say, high intensity workouts or strengthening workouts and all of those things, if you're very high on fruit, then the body will be able to meet its requirements, and then you'll also get that energy when you want to use it. And it's not, and the muscles are very clean and all that. So, and with a lot of hydration also in the body, the muscle will automatically grow. So hence protein powders and all of those things are not necessary in our opinion. And let's say there are some people, you might say, okay, people are not, let's say, in nature cure and all of those things, and then they are also on protein. But then when people are taking plant-based protein instead of animal-based protein, that is definitely better than taking animal-based protein, because that is far more detrimental to not just the animals, to also human beings. So hence, we don't have to really worry about whether they are taking that protein, this protein. We can tell them, I mean, you in your case, you understand that protein is not necessary. But then when you are basically, you don't have to go and advise anybody, don't do this, don't do that, and things like that. But I'm just saying, know that if you have not changed your opinion about protein powders and you're not convinced or whatever, then that is your choice. But somebody had asked a question on chat. So I'm just saying that why are people selling? Is it okay for people to sell plant-based thing and all that? So let them take. For people, if the market is booming with plant-based protein, pea proteins and all of those things, which have only some amount of rice and let's say pea proteins and things like that, is definitely better for the environment than selling whey protein everywhere. So definitely that is a positive step towards for the planet also. So over time, even they will also understand that, okay, fruits are far more better. Having a balanced, there is nothing like a balanced meal or something like that. Nature has created a balance in all the natural foods that it has created. So there is nothing like I have to eat a little of this, I'll have to eat a little of that and all that. So bring in greens, bring in vegetables, bring in fruits. Overall, it'll all be worked out. So next one is exercise the right way. So which means avoid over exercising. Don't use exercise as a stimulant. Don't use it as a distraction also. Let's say there are some people who say that if I'm very, very stressed, I just want to go out for a run. So it is okay, but then that is just a distraction, because every time you're stressed, you're not understanding the root cause and addressing the root cause. Instead, you're using exercise as a stimulant, as something that you have to just use a distraction and things like that. So don't use exercise for the wrong reasons. Use exercise for the right reasons. Then don't become, when you're very tired, you'll have to rest and recuperate and then pick up. We all know that people who are in, let's say, all the proper sports and fitness industries, and they are actually professionals, they exercise not more than 3 days a week. And then rest of the days, they basically rest and help their body grow. So rest is when the muscle will actually grow, and it is not going to grow because you're constantly pushing for it to work. So it has to rest. Okay, do not use exercise as a punishment for overeating. So there are so many people who actually overeat sweets and things like that. And it's okay, anyway, I'm going on the treadmill today. Anyway, I'm going on a run today. I can eat whatever you want. I'll burn it. So that is not going to happen. It's actually not going to work. So listen to your body. You are in Nature Cure. You're here to align with your body as your best friend. So of course, your habits may not still be able to get you there yet, but then that is your focus. Check with your medical practitioner before starting any exercises, which are something, new for you. So always, and reach people who are known to you or who come through known contacts. Go to practitioners like fitness practitioners who are already known to somebody, and then you know about them, and then go to them, right? That way you'll be able to at least understand what is their opinion about the right exercises and things like that for your body type. So right exercise is something that is done joyfully, mindfully, with proper breathing, as per your capability. Okay, something that you like. So always just keep all of those things in mind and exercise. Okay. So I think this is the last slide that I had. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah, dancing is also something like cardio only. It's good that not just dancing, you'll also have to do a lot of other strengthening exercises, body strengthening exercises along with dance. You just can't use only dance, because what will happen is if you just use dance, over time you will also injure your knees, your ankles, and you may also injure, if you're using a lot of your hands also, some hand injuries may happen. So always it is very important for you to do a lot of muscle strengthening exercises, even when you're doing such dancing activities. What should we eat before and after any exercise? Actually, when the body is very healthy, it doesn't need anything to be used before. We see, what will eating do? Eating will focus the vitality or the body's energy towards the stomach for digestion. So if you have to exercise, what should the body do? It should give you it should give you that energy towards the arms and legs and all of those things, right? So why should you focus the body's energy towards the stomach, towards eating, towards digestion? It should actually focus towards exercises. Hence, I recommend that you always hydrate, drink some juice or something like that, drink some lemon water or something like that, and go for exercises. So don't go for exercises on a full stomach. And after coming back, it is very nice to actually get hydrated with a smoothie or a fruit, a juicy fruit. It really replenishes the body. That is what I think you should do. A lot of greens, bring in a lot of greens also. It actually really brings that juice into the body. I feel very hungry. So yeah, please eat and choose the right foods. Like I said, the fruits and things like that. And how long should we eat or drink before? So that's what I said, right? I didn't, don't best not to eat. Many people actually eat a lot of food before going to exercises. But it's best not to eat anything, because I've noticed that. So typically I'm on raw whole day, and I exercise in the evening. My fitness classes in the evening. Mornings I do meditation and all that. So, and if I'm, let's say I have eaten something cooked in between, for some reason, let's say I got tempted and I ate something cooked that I made for my children or something like that, I can see that I'm not as energetic in that fitness routine as much as I would have been if I would have eaten just a raw food in my usual afternoons, and then maybe just drank some juices and then went to that exercise. So I can actually feel that difference. My body feels heavy. So which means I'm short of that energy, which because the body has directed a part of that energy towards digestion. So I try not to eat anything heavy before any exercises. That is my preference. I have cough. Let me just take some on the thing. Anupama Agrawal, can you please unmute and then talk?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So I could relate to all that you've said in the last few days and including today. So I lost weight after following this plant-based diet, and everybody told me that I look quite sickly now because I've become so thin. And my only question to you is, like, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing slow yoga practice, will be well cure yoga, this program, following 70% raw diet. But I still have these dark circles, which I used to have earlier too, under my eyes. But because of the fat, they were not that visible. But with my loss of weight, they've become more visible. And if I am a bit too tired on a certain day, I've had a very heavy day, it just shows on my face immediately, because there is no excess fat on it anymore. So I just want to ask you, how do I deal with these dark circles? Because now I feel I'm doing everything right, and still these dark circles don't seem to have reduced.
See, when initially you had a lot of fat here, and that's why you were feeling that it was actually masked. See, this layer of the skin, right, is actually very thin. That's why the dark circles will show, because of a lot of toxins under that area. Over time, I think as you continue this lifestyle, it will go. But then you can also do some massaging or face yoga and all of that. They also do in WellCure, right? So you can try to do some face yoga. That also helps. But then that is not the root cause of removal of all that. It will see beauty. For beauty to get back to the body in this lifestyle or general any natural way, it takes time. Give it few years. It will actually take time. When I started this in 2012, over time, people told that even I was sickly, probably because I was actually like an idli, and then they didn't like the way I was. People didn't like me being thin or something, but I felt very good about my body. So beauty is something that will take time, because that is not essential for living, isn't it? So the body will give priority to the other organs and other organ cleaning first. And over time, it will get to these beauty aspects. And it has to be in abundance. The energy has to be in abundance for you to build on some of these things. But over time, I have actually caught up in some of the weight. And people don't think that I look bad anymore. Possibly because I've accepted myself more now. So that is also probably a way to look at it. That is one. And second thing is, you were telling that you are doing a lot of slow yoga, right? So I suggest that you do bring in some amount of body strengthening exercises along with yoga. If you do want to do yoga, continue yoga, but then bring in a lot of some functional exercises, CrossFit, not so much of CrossFit, body weight exercises. Body weight yoga is there, like Ashtanga and all of that. It takes time. Give it 2-3 years, 2 years roughly, for some amount of muscles to actually form. If you've seen yoga teachers, you've seen their muscles, right? So they have a good amount of muscle because they do a lot of body yoga, body strengthening yoga. So it's not like yoga is bad. It's just that you'll have to also pick the right asanas to build yourself. So the focus should be on building your muscles, using your muscles, not just in being flexible or anything like that. So I suggest that you also bring in some amount of agility, fast exercises, some amount of running, or some amount of all of those things as a mix. I don't know your age and all of that. I'm just asking you to think in that direction and then bring age appropriate stuff to that. Okay, so yeah, dark circles and all that will take time. Over time, as you start detoxing, all that will disappear. Initially, it may not disappear immediately. You can do some massaging and all that, right? Nidhi Agarwal, I think I've already answered your question, right, Nidhi?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So let me come back to this. Hi, Smita. I have cough from yesterday. I am on tender coconut and water, but I feel very tired. So would you suggest any fruit to consume? See, tiredness is because if you're doing this for the first time and all that, the body is like starved. If you give a beggar food, if he has not seen food for a very long time, and if you give him food, what will happen? He will eat food with both hands. That is the kind of desperation he has for the food. So that is your body today. So when the body has not seen the food that it likes or its natural food, it would have absorbed whatever you gave very quickly, and it is still hungry, or it is still depleted. It is still in that state of lack. So this state will continue for some time. You can have fruits. I'm not saying you should not have fruits, but cough is not something that will go overnight. It will take time. It will take about 10 to 15 days. Even if you're on the right lifestyle also, it will take some 10 to 15 days. So don't try to think that this thing should go away. When you think like when you think that your elevation is your enemy because it is making you uncomfortable, it should go away. It should go away. Let me try to fix things like medicine. Eat fruits like medicine. Drink juices like medicine. I should make this cough go away and all that. Then that mindset should be changed. So when you change the mindset, the cough will also go away, because all of these things come to teach you lessons. You'll have to see what is the soul lesson that I'm learning from all my problems. And if you're constantly trying to avoid these things, that avoiding mentality also has to go, and then make it more accepting mentality. Then all of these things will slowly come. The universe will, like I said, right? It will take 10 steps towards you and give you awareness. So should we do a yearly executive health checkup? There are various parameters. See, when you're feeling good, if you're feeling good, then you don't need any tests. If you're feeling healthy, you're able to urinate in time, you're able to go to poop in time, your well-being is you're a very happy person. So always when you're able to balance these parameters of nature cure, and you're constantly happy, healthy all the time, then all of these issues, all of these executive health checkups may not be necessary. But then why all of these things are why you feel that this is necessary? Of course, if it's a requirement in your office and you have to get it done, please get it done. But then there are sometimes what will happen is, you'll see some people, suddenly they'll get this heart attack. Suddenly they go away with some brain stroke or something like that. People think, oh, he was very healthy, nothing happened to him, he was happy, he was healthy. Yesterday itself he was talking to me, but suddenly he got this problem and then he died. So you will try to compare yourself to such people, and then you will think that even that will happen to me. But then you should think that you did not live with that person. You don't know what were the parameters what health issues he had, what was he suppressing, what medication was he taking. You don't know. You don't compare your life with anybody. You feel that my body is healthy, I am active, I'm able to run, I'm able to swim, I'm able to do whatever you want, then that itself is an indicator that you are healthy. Parameters coming on a report doesn't tell you that you are unhealthy. If you are doing your homework right, then your body will do its homework right. You don't need anybody to come and remind you do your homework. Nidhi, can you please go on mute?
Ma'am, I had two questions to ask, ma'am. Can I?
Yeah.
Ma'am, very silly questions, ma'am. But ma'am, is snoring also related to toxins in the body, or is it snoring?
Snoring sometimes, yeah. I have seen my own husband who was snoring very, very badly in the past, but now his snoring has actually reduced. So snoring also is a lifestyle issue. Over time, that gets corrected because there will be blockages in the path. That some people have polyps and all of those things, which is again growth. They also snore. So there are lots of obstructions in the body that might also make them snore. Sometimes the teeth, the people will have a lot of crowding in the dentures, and that will also make them snore in the night. So
ma'am, my husband also snores, and my daughter, she's 8 years old. Ma'am, she also has this tendency since like she was a year old or something, or like 6-7 months old. She also used to snore a little bit. The intensity was not that much, the noise was not that much, but like if the room is silent, if there is no noise, you can feel that she is snoring. Like my husband and my daughter both. So I just wanted to know if like it is also related to some toxins in the body, or like it's just a something other thing.
Can't make them stop snoring because they are in that deep state. So making them stop is something that is not a voluntary, they can't control. So obviously
no, ma'am, nothing to stop. Is there anything lifestyle change that we can do that
there are so many factors that will make them snore, so you can't really pinpoint and say it is this factor. So the best way is whoever is sleeping with them has to be healthy and they will sleep off very quickly.
And ma'am, one more question, ma'am. Ma'am, like sometimes like they say that जब आप भूखे होते हो तो पेट से आवाज आता है. Like your stomach starts like making some noise, ma'am. So ma'am, I know this question is very silly, but still like it happened 2 days before, like in the morning around 8 or 9, it was actually making some sound, rumbling sound. So I thought that I'll ask, is it actually due to hunger, or something is going on inside, or like what it is actually, ma'am? Like since for ages we've been hearing once only when you are hearing you start your stomach rumbling, you can hear your stomach like making noise as if it's craving for something to eat. So
actually when you become hungry, then you will feel like eating something juicy, something nice like that. Typically when we are hungry, we don't have a craving for a particular food. We will actually eat the right foods. But when we are craving, we will feel like eating some particular food. I want to eat a pizza. I want to eat that. I'm feeling like eating that. That will not happen when you're hungry. That is one indicator. Second thing is when your stomach is rumbling and all that, and you haven't, and usually the stomach does not rumble so much when it is already healthy. But then sometimes the stomach acids and other things start rather acting out because when the food does not come in time and all that, body is also, let's say, wanting to detox itself. It will start to release some acids that were already in the body. So it can possibly happen. I have not thought of in that angle. So if I get to know of something like that, I'll think over something about that, and then I'll get back to you properly on this question of rumbling. I'm not very sure if I'm actually answering right for that particular.
And ma'am, is it okay to exercise? And like, is there any particular preferred time for exercising, or we can exercise any time throughout the day, walking?
The best time to exercise is in the morning.
Morning.
Yeah, evening is not the best time to exercise. But then sometimes because of lifestyle, whatever timing and other things, that if that is the only time you can exercise, that is the only time you can exercise. But then in my case, most of the time I'm on raw or juices or something like that. Somehow it manages. But then if you're going to office and are coming back and exercising, it's a lot of drain for the body. So best time to exercise in the morning because body is already rejuvenated, it is healthy, and there's a lot of toxins that are ready to come out, and sweat will also be able to release a lot of toxins.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So yeah, 2 more questions. I think after that we'll stop. I can carry juices without work, without losing the nutrients. as the juices oxidize fast. Can I carry? Okay. Yeah, you can carry. See, if the juices are very sweet, they will spoil fast. If the juices are not sweet, they don't spoil fast. So try to, if you're taking it for the whole day, for example, let's say till 4 o'clock and all that, I would think that if you are taking any fruit related juices, I would finish that in the morning. Then vegetable related juices maybe in the afternoon. And then I would also be able to, let's say, do some tender coconuts and all of those things in the evening, which are maybe close to the office. Or if, let's say, there is no tender coconut near the office, I would probably carry lemon water towards the end of the day. So try to balance it out something like this. Whether they will oxidize and all of these things, yeah, anything that has already been prepared will obviously start deteriorating as the time progresses. But then drinking is much better than not drinking at all, because it will oxidize. So that is my personal way of working. I try to see the best possible thing in that current situation rather than not doing it at all. How can you take the juices? You can actually take them in glass bottles. You get nice carriers these days, insulated carriers and all of those things you get these days. So you can buy some of those nice insulated carriers and carry glass bottles in that. You also get some coolers also. The previous day you can keep those ice packs or coolers in the freezer, and then you can keep that in between the bottles, and then that will also keep the bottles cool and slightly cooler than the external temperature. That is also a way of working. The way I send glass bottles to my children who carry to the school is, let's say if this is a glass bottle, I wrap it around with these small napkins, cloth napkins, and then I put a safety pin. I wrap it like this around them, and then I put a safety pin. So that way they are not touching each other. The glass and glass, let's say if it's 2 glass bottles, they are not touching each other. You can also put some other cloth in between those bottles also, and ensure that they are well packed. And tell the children, be careful with your bag and all of those things. So they know they carry this every single day. So they are very careful with their lunch box. They don't just throw their lunch box here and there. Because there is a bottle, and then the mother is going to ask what happened to the bottle. So yeah, that's about it. How can I maintain my weight by having only juices and fruits? I don't want to lose weight. See, body only decides whether you have to lose weight. Body only decides whether you have to gain weight. You eat the same fruits and juices and lose weight. You eat the same fruits and juices and also gain weight. Yesterday, Purushottam had come, right? He was only on fruits and juices for 1 year. He lost a lot of kilos because he was detoxing from cancer, and he only gained 10 kgs on the same diet, and he was not even exercising at that time. And later on he started bringing in some amount of body weight exercises and all that, but the body decides. You don't decide whether I lose weight or you don't lose weight. When you are not willing to let go of anything, it means that you want to hold on to your past habits, past dirt, past toxins, and all of those things. So if you're already thin, you don't want to become thin, you have to also learn to understand that maybe this journey is going to bring in something better than what I already have, which is health. If you are thin but unhealthy, then I'm sure being healthy is also going to give you something more. And facing some family members and criticism and all of those things, you will also take it as an opportunity to understand how to learn to help you to love yourself the way you are. There is always an opportunity, friends. Don't think that life is giving me some problem. There is nothing wrong that happens in life to anybody. From our perspective, we think it's wrong, that's all. So even being thin is not bad. It is just that this body only decides whether you have to grow your weight or you'll have to reduce. But you have to keep doing the right things. And like I said, bring in exercises. You can only build muscle on this journey. You can't build fat. You can't eat nuts, all of those oils and all that and put fat. Fat will actually clog your blood. It will create a lot of, the fat will start flowing in your blood. And then that fat will also deplete oxygen in the blood. And when you are depleted with oxygen, the cells will not get oxygen. When the cells don't get oxygen, they will also get suffocated and they may not function well. You will generally be tired. So you will not put on fat. Once you start becoming healthy in this lifestyle, if you eat the wrong foods, the body is so active that it will actually send it out. It will eliminate all the wrong things. You can't store wrong food inside your body once you are on this lifestyle. It's a path which is going to guarantee you to give a clean lifestyle. It is not going to help you lead a similar lifestyle that you did in the past. The only thing that you have to do is focus on building muscles, which means focus harder on using body weight exercises and things like that. And then you'll start building muscle. And a few grams here and there you'll start putting on. But then that strength that you get, right? You will not even think anymore about I'm thin, I'm fat and all of those things. Because that strength itself will help you improve your self-worth. So I've spoken about that in the previous point, right? Okay, Balbir. Can you please unmute yourself, Balbir?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. I have coughed long time ago. I would say it's like my childhood, but it's nighttime getting more. As soon as I eat something fried or dairy product, anything is coughing start. But before I was taking so many inhaler medicine, this, that, but now I'm not taking anything. So how can I do? But always feeling I feel something drink too hot, like tea is give me some health tea for cough. So what can
See,
I do?
Balbir, you have left the medicines, that is good. But the thing
Huh.
is, you have left the medicine, but you've kept the same habits. So you can't eat fried food and you can't keep eating dairy foods and think that I'll be okay. That will
Yeah.
create mucus in your body. That will create
Ye-
that phlegm in
Yeah.
your body. And the
Yes.
body will cough to send it out.
But it's nothing coming out. Always I feel dry cough, itching my throat.
That is inflammation in the body. So for
Uh-huh.
that, keep drinking tender coconuts, lemon water, juices and all that. Keep drinking. Over time, the body's inflammation that is inside will go down. It is all suffering inside with acidity that will slowly go down. And also, if you want to drink anything hot, drink some other herbal teas like tulsi tea or ginger tea or so many other teas that you keep getting at home,
Okay.
some kada or something like that. You can actually drink on and off. But don't bring, milk tea to actually make it. So you might feel all nice and hot here, but inside,
Yes.
hot acids also will be getting developed.
Okay.
So try to remove the causes.
Okay. When I eat drink lemon is more cough. Like lemon make
Lemon will actually bring it is going to bring the junk out. So you can
oh
drink tender coconuts and you can drink some other watermelon juice or something like that, and cucumber juice, ashgar juice, those kinds of things. And slowly, it takes time. Okay, what you built, let's say if you are 40 years old, what you did
okay.
in 40 years will not go overnight. Cough will come,
Yeah.
cold will come, fever will
Yeah.
come, loose motion, vomiting, all will come. Give it 1 year at least minimum. Keep
Okay.
doing, let it come. You keep doing. After 1 year, you think how better I am.
Okay, ma'am. If I start to drink juicing, 10 day I have to drink only juices, nothing
No.
any.
That is only under a practitioner's guidance, not on your own. Don't do that, because there
Okay.
are other things that also happens in those 10 days. So please don't keep doing
Huh.
that on your own. You can, on a regular basis, add juices in your diet, bring in
Okay.
fruits, bring in vegetables, and then bring
More.
in some cooked food. Only
Okay.
when you think that I'm not able to, lead my lifestyle, lead my
Mhm.
life today because it's so tired, whatever. Let's say there is a problem in your body and you're not even able to get up, you're not able to do anything, then you
Mhm.
do only juice that day.
Okay.
Until then, you don't have to actually do like fasting. Give the body some time to basically go to that scale. Don't
Okay.
do on your own unless
Mm.
you have the confidence to do it with little bit of raw, little bit of juice, little bit of cook. Slowly, you increase your knowledge. Knowledge has to first increase for you to be able to handle yourself, not because Smita told you.
Okay.
You have to get that confidence.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I'm listening to you. The start day is feeling very good. Thank you so much. I
See
will
all the
follow
videos,
you.
see all the previous videos, and then you'll
All
get
right.
better. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Anupama and Suman, would you be able to post your messages on the WhatsApp group so that I can answer that, because we are already 10 minutes late. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining.